Okay, we are back again. And having some issues with collaborate. I was talking about that earlier. But yeah, for some weird reason, it like I don't know, it synced like 20,000 things. You can see right here in this list. They go up 21,000 things because I renamed. It's just all asset folders what it's doing. But usually you can cancel out the change and even it out. But for some reason it's not letting me do that. It's having me revert. I don't revert anything. So I tried uploading again. It's not working, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep on working and try to do it later. So where we left off was I had this portal scene. So let's check these things out real quick. These are the assets I purchased. So it'd be cool to see what they can do for us here. And for the sake of just seeing everything based on how they lay it out, we'll go ahead and do that. Bring it down, we'll zoom in. And let's see what these do. So right off the bat, I like the texture and the layout. Okay. So give it a second to actually work. Okay, so I did like the other portal better. These are a little bit quirky. This one's okay. This one's okay. These first two ones are a little bit too like wormhole-ish. But I do like these gateways. So I would say, no offense to the developer, but this is the my second favorite one. So we'll go into the other ones, which is this one. I think I like these better. But we may use both of them, I'm not sure yet. Alright, so we have this interesting empty scene here. Let's see what happens when I play it. Alright, so looks like it's gonna transition or something. Oh, here we go. There's the buttons up here. Cool. Okay, so it just creates clones. Yeah, so this one definitely, I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones right here. This is number 8. I just like this. This to me is a traditional portal effect, right? And then the other ones, can't tell if there was one where you could. You know what? It looks like that this reverts the color. I thought that was actually porting in it. So that's alright. It's a little bit different. This one's awesome though. This is by far one of my favorite ones here. So it's number 8. And let's just see what happens if I toggle that on. Literally, I'm just going to copy this. Let's see what we got going on in here, though. So it's this particle system, quads, particle system 2, and a point light. Excellent work. The shape's a little weird. But let's see if we have any masks in here. I actually want to see one that is circular to see how they mask it out. Okay, so here's one where it's probably going to have a mask at some point. If we can find. Alright, let's just play this one and see what happens here. To do a little bit of. Yeah, these to me are just like, look how cool this little thing is. It's so awesome. Yeah, I'm almost. This is another favorite one of mine. Look at this thing; it's freaking awesome. So it would be really cool if I can mask out another level that you can walk into using this layout. I think that would be epic. That's the word I would use. So that's the point light. Particles. I'm just trying to see what is what here. Okay, Okay, wind portal. Oh, I see. Oh, it's because we have the clone that's up right here. That's why I'm seeing double. Okay, so particles turn off. So this one actually isn't being masked because it's simply just spinning in a circular vortex kind of thing here. Okay, it looks like they have different widths here. So that's interesting. Let's continue to see if we can find one that is not. There's an odd shape here. Oh wait, what do we got here? I'm just not sure if what I'm seeing here is. It does look different, doesn't it? Yeah, no, this one has a mask. Okay, so it's got distortion, it's got the sky. So this mask is what you're seeing in the background here. So I bet I can change this, and let me just remember that's cube map 1, but I could probably change it to anything I want. Yeah, see? So we can actually create an illusion that you're looking into a future there, which is pretty cool. And that's what we want. We want that effect when you're looking into the level there. So I think I'm definitely going to mess with these portal, these ones. These seem to make a lot more sense. But then maybe I can use the frameworks of the other ones. All right. So the other thing I want to check out is the seamless portals here. Got a scene. Save that. Don't forget to add portal A, portal B layers. Okay, so are they not layers already? I'm thinking what he's saying he wants me to portal A, portal B. Okay, so we added some layers. Let's just see if that works like that. I might hold off and dig into this. This is definitely very cool. And I've set up a lot of similar things like this. But I do find that it... Yeah. So the question I have is it just one camera or is there multiple cameras here? So we got player, main camera. This is old. So this script is what's doing all the hard work here. I mean, I basically paid $20 for this script because everything else here I've already done myself. But according to what it said on the store, you can use the layering system to separate stuff. Which, if that's the case, that would be really cool because that would allow for, yeah, so you can see here, I have to figure out how they set that up, but that would be a lot easier than having to use shaders. So if you could just layer stuff and have it be separated, that'd be huge. So, good stuff. Let's not worry about this yet. This is going to be down the road. But what is going to happen now? Let's just go player settings. Let's go back to our Palm Beach Live. Let's load that up. Let's not save that. Oh, look at me, I'm a ghost. I've given up on this blue screen filter. It's not really acting like it should. This keys out too much. Or it doesn't key out enough. Green screen doesn't do that. Properties, filter, blue. I'm either a ghost or I am weird looking. So defaults, let's go blue. Let's bring that down a little bit. Well, it's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, so we're back in our scene here. We got our game scene. Let's see if get this set back up. Portal. Bring that down. Alright, everything looks like it was where we saved it last. Do we have two? Yeah, we have two Sullys. Okay. So this is where I have to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to add the scene, or I want this to load the next scene? I'm thinking I'm gonna have it load, but for the sake of just seeing what it looks like the other way, let's go ahead and just bring in this and try it the other way. Alright, so we have our beanstalk, we have our scene right here. Let's copy that in. Let's go back here. Let's go here. And let's go ahead and paste that. It's going to be scene objects B, scene objects A. Alright, looks like our stream is playing nice with us. We got a good frame rate. Audio seems to be clear. Key is working better here. So, okay, so now what we want to do is we want to bring this up to where our other guy is. So he is, where is he? Where's our guy? Let's go find our guy. Alright, there's our guy. So then what I can do here is I can just drag that up to where he is. Looks like he's right there. I know it's hard to see, but he's there. Okay. Looks like we have some stuff we have to clean up, but do that. Alright, and because this is a smaller level, it's going to be farther out, so I'll bring it in. And also, I think he needs to turn that way. Alright, so let's turn off Sully A, and I'll just show you how this looks. So, assuming this doesn't fall. Alright, so we can have a portal like appear right here. And this portal can veer into the next level using those masks that we talked about. And I think I'm going to hold off again on that script where you actually can walk into the different rooms. I'm just going to use just an image of it. I just really wanted that script because eventually I want to do, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with that. But you can see how hard this level is working, running all this stuff, which is why we have to make sure we toggle this off when we toggle this on. So we're going to go ahead and just set that up real quick and see if we can fix that problem here. So it's a pretty easy fix. We'll go ahead and turn this up. So we got A on. I'm going to turn. We're just going to basically do a bait and switch. That's what I would call it. If that is such a term. And it also reminds me that this, right, is going to be our portal. So then now we can go in here and we'll just go to our portals folder we just created, our portal package. We'll go to prefabs, and I think it was number 7 we said we liked, or it was number 8 we said we liked. Why are there 2 number 5s? Oh, 2 different colors. Okay. Portal 6. So these are the 3 different options I want to play around with here. And I feel like these are very out of place for this island. I don't necessarily want them to be here. I want them to appear and kind of grow. So I'm going to think about how we're going to do this. So this one, right, I can tell you right now, is going to be part of B, at least the instance part is. So let's go ahead and zero that out. And now if I go to where it is, it's going to be up to where this one is right here, because it just basically anchors to where it is. So we know this is going to be right here. And we'll probably change the framework around. We'll add a trigger so that this loads our level when you walk towards it. Okay, so we have this here. Yeah, but see, we can do a really cool effect of like seeing where this is going to bring you, right? And so what we'll do in the Sky Island is we'll have like the top end of this. I want to actually put clouds up there so that you can't really see where it ends, and it just looks like it goes into the clouds. But keep in mind, this is going to disable where, I don't know how this is going to work in terms of the camera's going to basically go up in the air and you're going to appear here. We may have to tweak that a little bit, but let's go here. I'm just putting this in place because I know this is the one I want here. And then I know I don't necessarily like the what is this unwrap here? What is this all about? Yeah, so I kind of just like this, to be honest. Like, it's kind of like that actually, if we could make something custom to work around that. Oh, WeWork, your coffee is terrible. Sorry. It's not very good to me. Awesome. This is awesome. Okay, so boom. I'll just show you what this is going to do here. So we have our player down here, and when we set a trigger event, here, I can just toggle this on for now and watch what happens when I turn this off. Oh! So it wasn't as smooth as I thought it would be. Usually it's pretty cool when you go side. I think I might make it go side to side, not up and down. But see, now we can go here, and then we can look into this and see where the next level is going to take us. So it probably does need some kind of framework. But I can bring this down right here. Maybe make that, you know, it's actually better if you put it in the ground like that and scale it up a little bit. What about something like that? So there's clearly too much shit going on here. It's just having a hard time running everything. There's no way a phone's gonna be able to handle this. So I'm thinking we can destroy everything at some point here. So here, and we'll just bring that up a little bit. Oops. And just for the sake of, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if the shader got messed up, but it's been a really weird effect there, isn't it? Okay, so that's fine for now. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Scene object B, scene object A. But I do want to bring this back down to 0. 0. And I want to show you what I mean. So now we have them stacked. So what I'm thinking is I can just have it like that. So now play this one more time for you so you can see. So only have one of these active at one time, but then the trigger will replace the objects there, or it'll hide them at least. Okay, so we toggle you on, and then imagine Sully walks through a portal here, and then alright, so that was actually smoother, even though I don't really know where. Oh, okay, that's because he didn't move with it, that's why. That's why it's smoother, because it didn't really move. So it might just be interesting if you just stack it, you know? It's also why he's like way over there. I guess this is definitely cooler, having the portal jump effect to where you go to a different aspect of the level. It's definitely how we're going to do it, and just I wanted to separate these for the sake of performance. Okay, so you can see how the camera coming in though is really cool effect. So again, we just kind of jump back and forth. You can see what that does. So you got this one, and and then I can so it kind of brings you to two different worlds, or two different islands in the same level, and assuming we toggle off the other ones, you should be able to make it so it's not super performance heavy here, or any more than it was. It still is, but so let's do that. So that's our second scene. So in our first scene, let's go ahead and toggle you off, toggle you off. And the beauty is we kind of have this somewhat set up for us already. So in the area switch, which is essentially, it's interesting because this naming convention isn't wrong, but I was talking about like a switch, like a light switch on and off. And in this circumstance, I'm talking about switching locations. Alright, so I'm going to say area location switch instead now. We'll zoom in there if we can. Okay, the only thing that means that we're going to have to create a second minimap feature too. So for these, I really want it to be like a rift. Here. Let's just start with the one I really liked first, my favorite one, which was, this one was really good, the 8. And we can just bring it down, and we can bring it over here. And keep in mind, all of this is all I'm doing is adding it to the existing portal thing here. So I can bring that in there now. Right? And then I have to do some kind of a reveal. Otherwise it's just there. And also I want to make sure that the alright, do that. I'm gonna go 0 it out here. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that the center of the trigger here is in the right place. And then so the best way to do this is to look top down, but I just usually eye it. Make the radius about the size of that. Just gonna bring it over the top of that. Then we can just come back in here. It's too high, so I'll bring it down here. So that's pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? You know, just trying to make it look like it's... Yeah, so when you walk in that little area, it should set that off. And then what is this blue one for? I don't know what that's for. Blue one is... Let's see what that's all about. Oh, that might be stuff I deleted last time. That, yeah, so we're gonna delete this. Remove. Okay. What's going on here? Okay, I'm just trying to find where this other we don't need this anymore. Torch. Alright, so that's interesting actually, how it kind of just comes out of the ground there. It's almost like it was aftermath. It's almost like Indiana Jones #4, which people didn't really like. Okay, so we have this over here. They're like, oh, where's the portal? Oh, there it is. There I am. So I'll walk over there towards the portal. Interesting. It's kind of obstructed from the bushes though, huh? But let's see what happens when I go in here. So that did work. The reason why it's doing what it's doing though is because I haven't updated the FSM yet. So a lot of this is not even necessary at this point. You can see our switch we have here. Let's check that out. So this is unique. This is like an exit enter kind of trigger here. So when you activate the area or deactivate it, it basically goes back into the ready state if it leaves again. So let's just say we walk into it. It's got to turn this on, which is why you saw that stuff turn on right there, right? And then the only thing we really want to turn on is all of this stuff is actually going to be probably on the other scene. It's probably not even needed here. And you can see that what I'm doing here is I'm actually activating the ad manager, which is what plays the ad. So none of this is necessary for us. All we want to do is activate this copy, edit, paste before, paste before, paste before, boom, 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 and then we're not going to wait at all. Okay, and then saying, oh no, what do you want me to do? Okay, so we have here, so this is, again, another one of the things where it's overkill. We don't necessarily have to use this because we're just going to a different state. We're just activating different stuff here. So, okay, so it's activating that, and that loads the ad manager. So, I'm going to make it to where it goes into this, it goes in this, and that's that. On exit. It's just a one-way. This is a one-way street now. Okay, so boom, boom, and then we're gonna go boom, 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 boom. It's that simple. So now when you enter this, it's going to switch our players and switch our scene objects to where that's going to disappear completely, right? And then that should appear. The only thing I'm worried about is that because they appear, they get activated at the same time, there's a chance that Sully will fall through the level. So I may have to activate this, then activate Sully a second later. Let's just try it. Let's try it. Okay, so we have our okay, so you can't see, all you can see is this one level. So we got our portal here, and let's just see what happens. We go through here. So there you go. Now we have our second level here into our new world, and the only thing is that we have to also toggle a new mini map that appears because it's still looking at the old map, which isn't correct, right? And so this is what it saw, and it doesn't do us any good over here. And I'm guessing we can also do something to where we can have them go back into it, but I don't know. So then this one is going to basically load the level, load the ad, and get you to the next scene. So that's pretty much it. So that was an easy fix for us. We actually took away a lot of the stuff and simplified the process, which in some circumstances is better. Sometimes simplifying it, the functionality does make sense. So I want to bring this up, and I kind of want it to be offset a little bit more. Right, so it's just kind of like it fell in there, right here. Okay. That looks good. And so I can just copy this entire portal to next level thing, and I can use this same kind of I can use the same game object in all the other levels here, and I can tweak it and make it work and do all these things. The only thing I would want to do is I'd probably want to hide this from being seen. So maybe put some like bushes here or something so you can't see it, because otherwise people are going to know exactly where to go. Alright. So let's go ahead and now let's work on the second part of this, which is what we had here, but for the other one. Alright, so again, this is not necessary for us. It's gonna be like, let's call this teleporter, portal. Still not 100% sold on this. It's kind of out of place, but it's fun, I guess. And some. So this is kind of a portal that's coming out of the sand there. And let's try that one more time. So really we're only using one camera in the script that makes it chase the player allows you to do a lot of these cool visual movements that you see without any animation. So it's definitely a powerful thing. And I think even if we create the AR, the biggest challenge I had with the AR portal stuff was the camera didn't know how to key stuff out and change the states, but maybe with this new script it will fix that. So I can go here. I think it would be good to actually have something, a pre-trigger come up here when you're about to enter this to let you know. I don't know though. So it goes here. We still have to work on how that loads. Like, I think if I go here, portal B, well, we know this guy needs to rotate a little bit, so let's just turn this on. Alright, we'll find our Sully B here. So this also isn't the most efficient way of using a player. Usually you want to have like spawn points and then it'll generate a prefab versus I'm using extra players. So eventually we'll probably create spawn points that we can load. Like instead of having these toggle on off, we can just say this is spawn point B and then the script enables that. But I do want this to be front and center, and I want you to really know what's going on here when you want you to be. So if we look at how these are lined up, the way the camera is facing and the way it's going to turn is going to create like a 20-degree turn to the left. Let's see if that helped it a little bit. That's super cool. Good purchase. Alright, let's try it again. And then we'll work on the second one. And then we just have to do this 5 more times. and then enable the quest, and then I can release the demo. Should be awesome. So another thing you'll notice is that you can just get to the portal, and so one of the quests is you have to burn down the high thorns, the thorny brush, to get past this part. And I haven't added that yet. I'm just trying to get the game flowing, and then I'll do this stuff at the quest last. This is kind of the most tedious. So again, I'm not sure why. I'm not really sure why he doesn't seem to be aligning correctly with how I want him to be, right? So and I also don't like how it just turns off. There needs to be some kind of visual teleportation effect there, which we'll have to add in at some point. It just kind of everything disappears and then you just appear on another level. That's a little weird, huh? But we can add that in afterwards. It can just be part of the... What's important is that we got our portals working. So obviously these portals are a little bit out of place, but they definitely create a fun adventure feel to it, right? And then when you walk through there, you would essentially go to the next level. I might push that back a little bit more. So what I want to do real quick is I do want to test this out on a phone, so I'm going to build out this one level, see if we can get it working, and see what it looks like in AR. So before I do that, I meant to turn that off and then turn that off. Alright, so let's try that one more time. I love how, I do like how it's nothing and then he comes down to that. I like that a lot. I'm going to keep that. And then somehow we can have this come on. The controls work. I do have to make the mini-map though. It's something I have to do. I'm bummed about the quest stuff not working because it would be nice to actually have them working. Okay, so again, we just kind of walk through here. Huh. So for some reason he wants to start that way when we toggle them on, even though I don't place them that way. Which tells me that that's probably his default. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to negative 58. Huh? So negative 58. Let's just try to mimic what it's doing there. So that's around negative 58. And we'll just toggle that on, and we'll just literally move the world around where he wants to land just for the sake of this being working. We'll just spin it. And let's zoom in here. Okay, so he's facing that way, so then let's bring this. And obviously we can tweak this to make it the camera motion work a lot better. Hopefully this will fix that weird kind of placement thing here. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Save it out. Let's try it one more time. I also am gonna probably have that destroy all the objects too. I want to load that. So we're not going to use our portal scenes anymore, I don't think, but I'll just leave them in there for now. Okay. What are we looking at for streaming here? About 45 minutes in, so I'll do another 15, and I usually like to do in between a half an hour and an hour. So I know there's going to be a lot of items that you can collect in here. They're not really going to do much. So I have to figure out how I'm going to make them like these raptors. You can collect stuff, but that's not, they don't really do much besides that. People will be like, what's the point of that? So eventually there'll be quests. I'm also going to make the trigger for that chest not as wide. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so I don't know what your deal is, man, but now you're at 114, so let's go ahead and I don't know why it's doing that, but we're just gonna go ahead and fix it by zeroing out and try it that way. Maybe he'll actually appear in front of the portal. And I gotta figure out a way to actually create a teleportation like effect on the screen. Like maybe the screen gets fuzzy or something. By the way, and also this grass is very, very tall. need to bring it down. It's like monster grass. Everything is still needs to be proportioned. This guy's so small compared to everything else. Alright, so let's try this. Oh. Alright, well, you can see now we have, looking at the portal. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this out, and I'm gonna see what this looks like when I play it in AR. And see if it actually loads. But before I do that, let me just do one more thing, and that is in our scene object A I'm gonna go ahead and add one thing, and that is destroy this here. Okay, so I don't even think we need a finish state here. We just can go add state, bring that there. This one we're going to destroy. Object, and we'll destroy A. Hopefully that won't screw anything up too much. Okay. And that's going to destroy that. So that should work. Just have to check to make sure that I have the same stuff in place, because I do a lot of stuff with this one build. Oasis demo, I think it's called trial actually, so I couldn't get demo. Alright. Let's see, build. Let's see. So, whenever you build something out in Unity, it builds a nice little package depending on what device you're deploying to. So far I've been focusing mostly on Apple stuff because that's a lot of the products I use day to day. But we do have an Android version of this that we are going to start testing when this is done. I don't really want to get into that until this is all worked out, because otherwise you have to go out and fix it on both ends. So I've chosen Apple as the immediate platform, and then moving to Android. And I think that's a common trait, because Apple has a little bit more control about the products they release. So you can build to a lot more of the Apple devices a little bit easier, versus Android has a bunch of variances and sizes and shapes, and it's a lot bigger market. So this also complicates it. It should be done hopefully soon. Unless we had a build error there. Oh, looks like it's still working. Sometimes it has build errors. Well, it's still working. I just want to see the little build loader. Another cool thing you can do is you can open up QuickTime, and you can see, you can do a file new movie recording, and then you can choose the iPhone that you're using here, and then you can actually show what it looks like on the this right here. So that's my iPhone right now, so I'll keep that over here until we use it. But you can really maximize the potential of testing out all the stuff here. Well, it's definitely building. I just don't see that. It's doing a little weird jump thing. the switch collaborate with operate. It's not being very. It's not really being very efficient with us. What's interesting is that my phone says it's 9:41. I don't know why that is. Huh. It's definitely not 9:41. What's up with that? It says it's 9:41 right now. Huh. Interesting. Whatever. Alright, it's definitely building because it's moving, so. Just want to show everybody what it looks like on my phone. And I also, I think tomorrow I'm going to bring my iPad into the office. I think I'm going to do a porting to the Magic Leap live, and I can share that on LinkedIn. I think people will like that. Been trying to get people to get traction on there. It's hard. People like a lot of the they like a lot of stuff when people share share stories that are big things. People like a lot of that. They don't like when people boast about their own work, though, obviously. Alright, well, it looks like it's still building there. This may crash on my phone. Not really sure what's going to happen here. But we know it will. Oh, unless I forgot to. Did I forget to upload the Oh, that would suck. I may have forgot to when we crashed. I don't know if it saved the update I made to the loading level. It may not even load this level. Let's see. Alright, well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Keep an eye on that loader. Alright. Okay, looks like it's almost done there. A quick jump from halfway to almost 3/4. I don't know why you can't see the progress bar there. That usually shows you. But it's like a mini progress wheel. Another thing I wanted to do is I wanted to create a really cool icon for Oasis. The one I have is kind of lame, so I was going to do like a I was going to use a clownfish, but then I realized that Magic Leap uses a clownfish for their Undersea one app, and I don't want to be a copier. I don't want to copy. So I have a lot of really good thumbs I created, 3D renders of objects that I created. So I'll show you what those look like while we wait. Come on, baby. Where's this? Give me something. So in here, there, assets, and let's type in assets. And then I know where they are. Just sometimes it's easier. Yeah. So these are all 3D renders for the game of objects we've created. So, and I think people have seen this, but what would be really cool is taking one of these and then putting them in the Oasis logo. That's what I want to do. So, I'm trying to figure out which one I would use. I want to use like a cool fish or something. Like I like this one a lot. Something that is memorable, you know? These are all objects. Ooh, a turtle. That's kind of cool. Let's copy that. Save that. And also copy out that one I liked up here. Alright, I got a successful build, it looks like. What do I just do? Open and add another one in here. So a lot of cool stuff, as you can see. Got my kind. Alright, that's better now we can see. Ooh, the cuttlefish is actually awesome too. Yeah, it's hard to choose. And I didn't model these, by the way. I just licensed these. So hats off to the individual that created them. They're gonna be the face of the icon of Oasis. Alright, got the turtle. And let's just grab that other one I liked. Where was it? Ooh, that's also another good one. Lionfish. That's another good one. I don't want to use anything that copies another game, so like dinosaurs I won't use because obviously that's the Jurassic World stuff. I want it to be unique. Some of this stuff I have to check to make sure we can use it, like this book, I'm not sure if I have rights to that. There we go, so this is the one I wanted. I made a copy of that accidentally. And we'll do that. And now I have 4 to choose from. Okay, so now it's done, let's go ahead and build that out. And we'll close that out and show you how this works. It's a pretty straightforward process. Open this up. And they just updated Xcode to work with the latest version. Sometimes Apple releases new versions of phones before they update Xcode, and then you have to use like beta versions of it, which is kind of annoying. I wish they would release, I know it's not for developers, but I wish they would release it at the same time so that you don't have issues. So I'll just rename this to the demo. Say rename. it's not necessary for the test, but it's just a good habit. And then also edit this right here, and I'll just say manage, and also say the demo. What demo you say? All right, let's play it. Nope. The only thing you have to do is you can make sure you sign it. And you have to make sure that you have a profile created in the store, which is already set up, which is why the bundle identifier, if you already have it created, is important in certs and all that, but luckily I already set that stuff up. So, while that does that, let's wait for the demo to do its thing. Alright, so that's our iPhone right there. Here's our Xcode build. I don't know why it says it's 9:41. Doesn't look like it's actually changed the time, which is interesting. I don't know, that must have something to do with, I don't know, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. Alright, so we're building the demo. I do eventually want to get one of the new iPhones with 3 lenses. I think they'll be better for AR, and I think I'll be able to get a little bit more performance. But in terms of maximizing the potential of people that can use this, it's good sticking to the iPhone 10. Because if I can make it run on here, then anything newer will probably have no problem. And that's, if you aim too high, when I first started this, it could barely run on this phone, and it still is having issues performance-wise, but you know, we've worked on optimizing it. And so I'm curious to see how it handles everything I just did here, because I'm loading twice as much stuff. But hopefully, because it's the same assets, it doesn't have issues with the runtime. But there's a chance it's going to crash right now, because I didn't actually check the memory usage of it from the update. So I may, if that's the case, I'm going to go in there and delete a bunch of stuff to make sure it loads under the 2 gigs and 2 gigabyte max that I go for. So an iPhone X has 3 gigs of allotted RAM, and a gig of that is geared towards the system RAM. So they leave you 2 gigs of memory for applications that you're running. In the grand scheme of things, that's good. That's plenty. When you're creating a prototype, everything's locally distributed. It's just like not enough. But I know that's not optimized. If you're just pulling the stuff you need from the cloud, that's more than enough. It should only be a couple hundred megabytes of RAM at once. So that's what we're working on. We're working on distributing this in a point to where it only pulls the stuff it needs, not the entire inventory. But I will say, the amount of errors I used to get on this, 82 is not that bad. It used to be hundreds. And so, we're definitely improving the build, which is good. It's got in-apps. No. I always forget that YouTube blocks, oops, that's the wrong one. But to do this one. YouTube loves to block songs that are like stupid songs. Like, they pick random songs to block. It really goes to show the artists that are so full of themselves. Huh. Well. Almost there. Server room's hot. That's why I need a bigger space. It's freaking burn in here. But I got my broadcast system set up, which is cool. I don't know why I'm so yellow. I do find that because it's looking at the screen behind me and not at me directly and focusing on that, it does a better job of keying out. Just when I get in front and I block it, just see it, this is a hard time. So it's better to sit off on the side a little bit and let it point. It's actually looking like the camera's looking that way. Little things. So, ooh. Okay, so for some reason we lost connection there. I'm still pretty impressed with what my little MacBook can do. I mean, just all this technology together. This is... I never would have thought I could do all this on the little MacBook. Alright, cool. Presets. Very cool. Awesome. Awesome. Unfortunately, I don't have time to learn about any of this right now. I only have time to do what I want to do here. Oh, I got some stuff? No, I think it's empty. No, this is not trash. Yeah, thank you. What did I do with... why do I always lose that? Alright, almost done. I'm trying to open up my Oasis logo here. There that is. This is cover, Master Freedom Trail, Disney XP. This is another app I'm creating. It's called the Freedom Trail app. I'm doing that after I release the demo. It's going to be something available for the spring as well. Offered free to the public. Amongst some other stuff. It's very interesting how styles and design changes in tech. It's all about modular now, it's all about round again. Alright. Let's see what happens there. I'm going to turn this off just for the sake of listening to what we got here. And I'm going to turn off my mic as well when this starts playing. In the meantime, I'm just going to look for the Oasis demo here. Where is that? Oh, come on, don't crash on me. Something, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oasis. Logo. I thought I copied this down, which is weird. I don't see it anywhere. Or maybe I just ran it in Photoshop and forgot about it. It looks like we're running the trial here, so let's go ahead and let that do its thing. And see if it loads for us. Oh man, my phone's, my whole computer's crapping out again. Oh, you can do it. Alright, so I thought I made it to where the, come on Photoshop, get the fuck out of the way. Photoshop's like freezing up on us. So I meant to get this out of the way. I don't know why that's still showing. You're supposed to be able to toggle it off. So I don't think you can actually hear the audio of this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it might be because it's on silent. You hear it now? Mm-hmm. That should actually fix the audio. Now you should hear it. No, I still don't hear it though. Oh well. Let's at least see if it can function correctly. So press play there. So it's running pretty, loading pretty smooth though. As in there's no, here's where I was worried it's gonna crash on us. Also keep in mind, streaming this plus playing it makes it slower too. So it's gonna be a little, okay, so we have our level here. Let's go over to our portal and see what happens. I'm gonna try this without, alright. Yeah, so it's definitely slow because I'm streaming it and this needs to be optimized, so that's not releasable yet. We have to fix this. Way too sluggish here. But let's see if we can actually get the portal app part working. We got our portal here. This is where I think it's may crash. We'll see what happens. Boom, boom. Nope, it doesn't crash. Alright, so we successfully got our portal working, and then we look up. Cool. Alright, so as you see, successfully deployed it to our phone here. So that's good. I just need to optimize it and have it run. I'm going to go ahead and unplug it and see if I run it again without the phone plugged into the computer and see if it works better. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here for that, and when I come back we'll do some final touches and work on some other stuff. Alright, later.